Hello everybody. It is game 1 of the semifinals for the Weeblet LOL tournament. Kicking things off with our first game of the day with Team SKE on blue side and Team LSS on the red side. Got some little little bantering going on here and there between the teams. So let's check them out, move them around, and we'll get sorted right away. See, got that, and we got that. Alright. Looks like both teams are doing your standard 5-point defense. This is a plan where you have all 5 members split around the entire map to cover the entrances in case of invade.
Minions have spawned.
So it looks like both teams are kind of getting ready for that in case either team tries to do anything sneaky. I think Team LSS with Nadsmew on the Morgana definitely has some pick potential for the early games, but looks like both teams don't want to do anything fancy just yet. Wards are being put down on both sides, trying to cover any late invades, but looks like everyone is just going to be starting on the bot side, possibly looking to move towards the top side for a gank, level 2, level 3 or so. Yeah. My predictions for this game. Ooh, let's see. I've got my money on Team LSS. You know, their jungler Bonchovi is a pretty strong player. Playing against him in the practice / round robins this past few days has been pretty challenging. He's a really good Zed and he's a really good Zed player. Definitely your assassin kind of jungler. But, I mean, just looking at his OP and his, like, champion pool, he seems to be a very versatile player. That said, I know Team SKE has had a lot of substitutions lately, but this is, for the most part, their entire main roster, with the exception of Slightly, as their top lane substitution. So, with most of the main members here, looks like this is a good representation of how the rest of the tournament will go in terms of their represented strength.
Better duck. Feel that reaper.
A bit of poking into the Seraphine. Oh, let me just pick up some timers for us. Looks like Zed in the mid lane is taking a bit of a lot of poke from the Seraphine. Again, this is a mid lane versus a ranged mid laner versus a melee mid laner. So Zed's gonna have a bit of a tough time. Oh, looks like Elise is trying to do a little scouting here and there, little trades between the two junglers. Kayn definitely catches her off, and as I said before, looks like both junglers heading towards the top side to see if they can find any picks on the top laners. So it looks like both top laners seem to be the main focus point of both teams' game plan. But in my opinion, I think with the recent patch that happened with Sivir, I think that's happened yesterday as of this recording, or as of this game happening. Sivir definitely received a buff and some slight changes to her kit. We'll see if this Sivir pick is definitely gonna help Team LSS. Okay, so we got a taunt coming in from the Shen. Stun Flash and the Repel from the Elise grants her a first blood, but shortly before the Seraphine uses her poke damage to finish off Veigar in the mid lane. Veigar the player, not the champion. Veigar is playing Zed, in case I wasn't clear enough. It's a little confusing with the names. Anyways, looks like a 1-for-1 for both teams. Top lane, mid lane. Like I said before, it looks like both teams are trying to focus on the top lane. Now, it looks like they're both going for bot side, with Kayn securing top scuttle. Looks like he's trying to follow up for some pick in the mid lane. Trying to go for bot scuttle, looks like. But Elise is already there, secured it, move in to clear her bot side jungle. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we've got some trades going on here and there. Let's take a look at the support items. You can see how much poke damage has been going out. So it looks like Team LSS, their bot laners are definitely doing a lot more poke damage in comparison to Team SKE's Sona and Zaya. Major damage by the Teemo onto the Shen, forcing him to recall, possibly forcing out a TP in order to get back to lane on time. Also not missed any CS. Doesn't look like he's going to be using TP in a moment. He's going to be walking back to lane, so he definitely misses out on that big wave that Teemo was pushing in. Teemo's just going to get some free plays. Oh, forget what I said. TP coming in from the Shen. Looks like he definitely wants to save his turret from getting destroyed by the Teemo. Got some missing pings coming in from the bot lane on SKE's side. Didn't see that recall, so maybe they're thinking, okay, maybe they're starting to move up to the dragon. See if there's anything that they could do there. Secure objective. Now, seeing that this is not a... Oh, oh my god, Earth Dragon? What's it called? Mountain Drake. Seeing that this is not a Mountain Soul. Oh, forget what I said. Level 6 for the Zed onto the level 4 Kayn. Looks like Kayn is... Oh. Okay, so we got an ult coming in from the Seraphine. Secures the kill over to Exokai with the assist. Oh my goodness. That was a whole lot to process. Let's go back a little bit. Slow down a bit. Alright. So got the red side. Zed is pushing in, hopefully moving into assist with the Mountain Drake. Kayn spots up this Zed and he goes in for a pick, not realizing that he's level 6, the level 4 Kayn, just to put his whole combo into the Zed. With no ult, Alright, so we got a Shen coming in down. We got 2 ults on Team LSS going in for the Kayn, and the Shen assist as well as the Elise help secure the kill over to the Zed. Seraphine ult doesn't really do too much. Kind of extends out the fight a little longer. Hopefully she's probably thinking that her kick could possibly save the Kayn. But looks like first Dragon, Mountain Drake, is given over to Team LSS, with the bot laners trying to see if they can do a little steal with the burn damage. Sorry, not the burn damage, just a little poke here and there. Unsuccessful. More poke damage given by the Seraphine onto the Zed, making it a really tough matchup for him. Okay, we got a little engage coming in from the Shen. Unsuccessful flash to help the Zed escape the Seraphine. And again, mid lane for Zed is a very tough matchup with the ranged against the melee champions. Looks like he's forced to recall. For the bot lane, looks like everything's fairly even with a slight CS advantage for Zaya. Taking a look at the stat boards, everyone seems to be having a CS advantage over their opponent on Team SKE, except for the mid lane, except for the jungler, behind by 2 or so times. We got another engage coming out from Shen onto the Teemo. A little trade here and there, but it looks like the trade will be fairly even for both sides. Teemo's burn damage definitely makes up for the fact that Shen can just hop onto him. But remember, the blind stops Shen's autos for some duration. I believe 2 or 3 seconds, depending on the level. But in these early stages, it looks like Teemo, similar to how the lane is being played out in the mid lane, has a very easy time against the Shen. It looks like the Elise is coming up for a gank onto the top lane. Oh, looks like they're unable to detect the Teemo because of his passive in the bush. Oh, never mind. Yeah, looks like they're unsuccessfully able to detect the Teemo. Kayn's trying to go in for the assist, but the ult comes in from the Zed, and a kill with the ignite given to Elise. Looks like Teemo is just kind of here around. Ooh! And the Shen, if that went a little further up, definitely would have been able to catch out the Teemo, pull him away from his passive. Looks like he's just hiding around, waiting for the action to be over. Take a look up here. If you see these control wards, I believe the control wards do help detect Teemo, or at least that was Team LSS intention. But if they spread it out a little more, maybe they could have. They couldn't have. Looks like the Elise is catching the Seraphine, trying to stop her. Okay, but it looks like a pincer attack given by the Kayn, a flash to help the Seraphine escape, and the repel to also help the Elise disengage. Definitely the spatial awareness of the Kayn is helping the team prepare for any ganks by the Elise. We take a look at the top. Even though Team SKE is down by 2 kills, 1 kill on Team SKE and 3 kills given over to Team LSS, they're ahead by 200 gold or so. So, that CS advantage that we've been seeing throughout the game so far looks to be working in their favor to kind of keep things even so far. And I remember, if you remember, earlier in the game I did mention that my bets are on Team LSS, but it looks like with the coordination and also the jungle tracking done by Team SKE and preparing for ganks by the Elise seem to be working pretty well. Or it looks like this is the beginning of that. Okay, we got a flash from the Elise, the stun, and also a kill given over to the Zed. We got a 2-0 Elise, a 2-1 Zed. Some more major poke damage in the top lane. We're starting to see the CS leads ramp up for the Teemo and also the Seraphine. Again, it's a very tough matchup. If any of you have ever gone against the Teemo, it is pain. Okay, looks like the Shen's trying to full combo out. Try to burst down, or trying to burst down the Teemo, but it looks like it's unsuccessful. We got our first mythic item on the board for the Seraphine. She's building Leandri, so definitely going for a more damage-oriented build, as opposed to the classic support Seraphine. She goes Moonstone or Shirelia's. I don't know what she goes anymore. I haven't played her in a while. The only enchanters I usually play, ooh, be like Nami. Probably just Nami, not gonna lie. Not much of a enchanter like support player. I definitely prefer the more like tank-oriented characters. So, okay. We got Cloud Dragon snuck up by the Kayn and blue side. Looks like they were able to secure that, and it looks like an Infernal Soul is on the board. Okay, we got contesting over the Scuttle post Dragon take. Kayn uses the ult to try and stall some more time, tries to face through the wall, but unsuccessfully able to escape. Team SKE secures another kill for their Elise. 3-0, the Elise. Looks like Team LSS trying to hard shove this, so possibly looking for a tower dive, but with the Sivir and half health, maybe Team LSS is kind of giving up on that idea. Ooh, the Elise is deep in enemy territory. Again, full combo out from the Shen to try and fight out this Teemo. Try to push back against the wave, prevent him from getting his turret destroyed. Got one plate left before the turret plating falls. 15 seconds for the Teemo, possibly able to secure that gold. Yep, looks like he's able to secure that gold. Not before the Shen hops onto the Teemo. Shroom comes down to prevent Shen from pursuing any further. Looks like 4 plates given over to the Teemo. We got a 30 CS lead in the top lane with a whole lot of plating given over to Teemo. You just saw there Zed definitely starting to fight back against the Seraphine now that he's got his Hex Drinker for the defense. against the magic damage, and also the serrated dirk blade for that lethality. Learn some vision here and there by the Kayn. I just want to talk a little bit more about these team comps now that we're starting to approach the mid game. So if we take a look at Team SKE, Team SKE on the left-hand side, aka blue side, they got a Sarah, Fiend, and a Sona. So we're looking at a team fight-oriented kind of play style. Pop down the Sona ult for a major stun onto any of the assassins on Team LSS, and you stop them from taking out any of their carries, such as the Teemo and also the Xayah. You got the Seraphine ult to kind of line everything up for the assassins, and also the carries on Team SKE. So, looks like Team SKE is trying to wait it out until their supports and also their carries come online. Wait for those major team fights in the game as fast as possible. Kind of play a more reactive role as opposed to an engaged kind of playstyle that I believe Team LSS has drafted up. Kayn gets caught out by the stun from the Elise. Oh, okay, and the just saw right there the Kayn ulted onto the Zed because Zed tactically teleports, flashes back. He uses his W to go back into his team away from the turret, giving his teammate the Elise more time to assist the kill. Kayn is definitely not having a great time with 4 deaths. 4 of those deaths split amongst the Zed and Elise. Red players on Team LSS. Shen tries to go in for a little sneaky here and there, unsuccessfully poked out by the Teemo. Looks like Shen is not having a great time. Elise comes in for an assist to pincer out the Teemo. Okay, we got an ult coming in from the Shen to shield out the Elise. A little unnecessary, I would say. I think Elise definitely had enough HP to, fight off against the poison. With that, the Shen ult won't be available for Dragon. Gotta keep that in mind. Which means that the Shen, if he's smart enough, will need to go down to the Dragon stage. Just by walking. Although his teleport should be up soon. Let's check it out. 50 seconds. Yeah. Assuming that Dragon isn't taken for another 30 seconds after it spawns, Shen could definitely teleport in. Okay. Ooh, we got a nice. Okay, and the Xayah goes in hard on the bot lane, getting a double kill for herself against the Sivir and the Morgana. An ult from the Zed. We can clearly see here, Zed is starting to dominate, even though he had a really tough lane in the beginning. Elise and Zed go for the Kayn. Major poke damage. Successful trade for the mid lane and jungle duo. Team LSS is starting to clear up some vision, kind of get their team ready, and like I mentioned before, the Shen has to manually walk down. So it's definitely a 5v4 in this dragon fight. It's only 3rd Drake, 1 dragon for each side, so it'll be the 2nd Drake for either team, if Team SKE manages to steal us, of course. But this might be a bit of a macro mismanage on Team LSS, as we see in the top lane pings coming out to try and match the Teemo, decimating the tier 2 turret in the top lane. Okay, the Seraphine ult going in to bait out to Zed. Unable to get the kill, the Kayn gets assassinated instead. Looks like the rest of the team Team SKE is starting to get picked out one by one. Team LSS with their Zed narrowly managing to secure 2 kills. Now with Teemo rotating over to mid lane, after seeing the Sivir go top, it's like top laner for Team SKE definitely looking to play more side lane as opposed to team fight oriented. So I mentioned that Team LSS, sorry, I mentioned that Team SKE is looking to play more teamfight oriented, while they're having their Teemo split push on the side lanes. Kind of see him, we call him now. So we got a major kill gap between both teams. 11 kills on the side of Team LSS, 3 kills on the side of Team SKE. At this point, I think it's very clear that any person could say that, yeah, with that many kills, and with that fed of a Zed and an Elise, whew, I think it's a little doom for Team SKE. But still got a couple more minutes before the game is officially over, so let's kind of wait and see. Got a classic mythics going on from both sides. We got a Kraken Slayer for the Sivir on Team LSS. Okay, a pick out from the Elise and a Zed, and also the Morgana follow-up Q. Wow, I just did a voice crack, and the Sona is dead. Elise narrowly manages the feathers by the Xayah, using her repel. Becomes untargetable. First kill for the Kayn by the Kayn. Yes. Okay. Again, like I mentioned before, top laners are trying to match each other with the side laning, but again, Teemo at this point has so much more damage. He has a mythic over the Shen. Not much he can do about it, except maybe get rid of the minions. Okay. Bit of a panic engage by the Shen. Try and, break the mental of Teemo, but looks like Teemo is just gonna be, chunking away. All he's gotta do is just stay there, poke him out, and go for turret. Shen is definitely in a tough spot, trying to save his turret as much as possible, but the demolish in from the Teemo secures major damage. Look at the damage target. Yep. Another turret given by the Teemo. Looks like that was mid lane for Team SKE. Looks like they managed to secure a turret there as well. So definitely a bit of a macro misplay by LSS, not tracking the Teemo and also having someone else deal with the Teemo instead of the Shen. Okay, we got ults coming in from the Sivir. We got the Encore. Try and end off the Sivir, but the shield definitely helps the Sivir stay alive a little longer with the health refund nowadays. The stun of the Shen to extend the fight helps Sivir catch up a little longer. Mid lane turret's about to be given up by Team SKE as they manage to poke out and kind of stun, kind of razzle up the feathers of Seraphine, Xayah, and Kayn. Okay, so if we take a look at the bot side on the map, looks like the Sivir is trying to 1v1 the Teemo. In my opinion, not a good idea with the lifesteal that the Teemo has, and also the attack speed that he also has as well. Because Sivir's playing a... Oh, okay. Team SKE just assassinates the Sona. Okay, the feathers coming in, down, a kill by the Elise. Looks like she's trying to finish off the rest of the squishy. Chilling smite to stop the Seraphine. Unsuccessfully able to catch up with the double stun from the Seraphine. Shen coming in for an engage on the Teemo. Looks like the rest of Team SKE is dead, but this Teemo is pulling out super hard. Manages to get a kill onto the Zed. A major threat for Team LSS at this point. Definitely the Teemo. If they aren't able to shut him down or stop him from side laning so aggressively as he has been these past few minutes, they are definitely going to get outplayed macro-wise. Ooh. Almost an E seal by the Seraphine. Looks like, yeah, looks like Smite wasn't even up for Bon Jovi. But again, like I mentioned before, SKE, all they need to do is keep side laning with the Teemo and force out these 5-man team fights. If they manage to get all the members of Team LSS onto them, which they likely will, since it seems like, like I mentioned before, The Shen ulti is going to be useful, but that takes him away from the side lanes, which means that it opens up more split pushing for the Teemo. I mentioned the team fight sort of like draw out the players, Team LSS, that kind of comp for Team SKE. But if we take a look at Team LSS's team comp, they're looking for more picks like they have been in the past. You got the double assassins in the jungle and mid lane. You got the forever stun, as I like to call it, from the Nadsmew on the Morgana. You got Primrose's Sivir, you know, kind of also assassinating, helping the team catch up with that massive team boost. Basically, built in Shurelius. Looks like every team has all members with mythics. Like I mentioned before, standard builds for each team. Looks like Nadsmew is going for a Liandry's. Okay. So again, more damage oriented, just like the Seraphine, trying to burst down, also burn out any healing, any shielding that Team SKE has. Especially with their Seraphine and their Sona, good idea. Sort of acts as a pseudo Grievous Wounds. Definitely the healing and the sustained damage for SKE is another thing that's going to help them out in the 4v5 team fights. Again, looks like the Sivir's the only one able to even scare off the Teemo. Looks like he's just going to be sticking around there. Okay, we got a taunt in onto the Seraphine by the Shen. Looks like he's trying to burst her down, but not enough space to help him take down that mid laner. The rest of the team, LSS, goes in to see potential tower dive. Looks like the double assassins are up there waiting in the tri-bush. Okay, looks like 3 players all comes in to stall the Seraphine, but she gets bursted down super hard. Alpha the Xayah tries to recover what the Seraphine tried to do, unsuccessful. Kind of wastes that a little bit. Because now she doesn't have it for this potential Baron fight. Pain tries to go for a little predict. No vision in the river bush, but the Zed is successfully able to recall without any damage taken, uninterrupted. Looks like Team SKE is looking to set up some more vision for this possible Baron play. Looks like it's a whole 5v5 here. The Teemo is deep in enemy territory. Gets bursted down by the Kraken Slayer Sivir. And the Shannon ult comes down. Woo! Looks like the Teemo is taken out of the team fight. Looks like Team SKE is running it back now. Okay, major damage from the Feather Storm from the Xayah. But unflinched Team LSS stays in the mid lane. Pushes up a little bit, tries to recall, see if they can go for this next Infernal Drake. Keep in mind, this is 3 dragons already taken by Team LSS. They need this last dragon for a Infernal Soul. And if Team LSS keeps up what they're doing, kind of using the Sivir to match the Teemo, scare him off with that extra hardcore wave clear, then with that extra damage, and again with that pick potential from the double assassins, they're able to burst down their opponents even more. So, again with a major kill difference, Team SKE is not even that far behind. Almost 1,000 gold behind. It's not too bad.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, we got a second turret taken down by the Sivir. Looks like both teams are circling up for a vision fight over the Infernal Drake. Remember, this is Infernal Soul point for Team LSS. Team Mushroom's going down, trying to block out the access points for Team LSS. Team SKE looks like they're hiding the Pixel Bush to see if there's any picks that they can do. Teemo kind of lays down some more traps. Looks like the entire team of SKE is stacked up. Okay, try to bait out the Teemo, so that way double assassins go in, but unsuccessful. The Q goes onto the Kane. And it looks like Team SKE is posturing off Team LSS. Red team stolen. Okay, the repel and a deep dive from the Elise Major Seraphine ult onto the double assassin, and a kill is given over to the Kane. Oh my goodness! It's a big turnaround, the double. Oh my god. Holy shit! And so the clean ace by Team SKE, and it looks like they're looking to end it right now. One major team fight, like I mentioned before, everyone. One major team fight to turn it around, and this time the teamo was there. The entire team of SKE, super healthy, has a whole minion wave. Will they have enough time to take down the turrets and the Nexus? I believe so. Clean textbook split pushing by the teamo, starting to tank up the Nexus turrets. Going from top to bot to stall out the Shen. Even though they had the Sivir there to stop him, it looks like it was unsuccessful, and Team SKE, aka Team SKE, takes their first official win of the semifinals. GG's on both teams.